Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Luke Curry, one of the directors here at Periti Digital. This is the first time we're ever using Riverside, so we're going to do it without testing and see how things go here. I've got my colleague Dan Kirby here from Periti Digital. How's it going, Dan?
How's it going? Great to be on here, starting the podcasting career with the guys, and yeah, testing it. No better thing than just going live and seeing what happens. So looking forward to
Absolutely
seeing how this
cool.
turns out.
And we've got Oisín Scurry on the line here from Make.com. How's it going, Oisín?
Yeah, hi guys. I'm good. I'm good. Glad to be on here today. Exciting to get started with the partnership between Make and Periti. But yeah, we can have a chat today, I guess, about how we can drive some value for your customers moving forward.
100%. This is what everyone's talking about. They're talking about this. They want to automate stuff. They hear about what people are doing with AI and that type of thing, and they're afraid that it's coming for their jobs. But we might just be able to build stuff to make their lives easier and their businesses better. Just to let everyone know, obviously we're a HubSpot partner, and actually I'm wearing a HubSpot hoodie right now in solidarity to let us know that that's still our main focus. But I think we've always been looking for something else just to bolt on to HubSpot, just to make processes easier for customers and stuff like that. So I'm super excited about our new partnership. And today I was just saying to Oisín, we got an opportunity from you guys, and we sent one to you over to you. So it feels like it's a real partnership, because I used to sell the partnership dream in HubSpot many years ago, and every time we'd sign a contract, and then everyone's like, okay, who goes first? But you guys have been super open and super helpful. And like Oisín, we just basically reached out to you the other day and see if you want to jump on here, and you were like, yeah, let's do it. So happy to be here. Um,
Yeah.
so Oisín, would you mind giving people a little bit of an overview of what Make is in simple terms, for people who haven't heard of Make or things like this?
Yeah, of course. So Make basically, in simple terms, it is an automation platform that allows you to connect different systems and apps in your tech stack, and normally the ones that don't talk to each other, and then automate the workflows between them. So you're able to connect a CRM like HubSpot into your email marketing campaign or email marketing systems, or your ERPs, or your financial systems, so that really the benefit is data consolidation, having everything everywhere without you manually having to do it.
Perfect, because this is so when we implement HubSpot, a lot of the time it seems like it's great. A lot of it's out of the box and that type of stuff, but it's all of these little bits of, okay, if I talk to one of my customers, I say, walk me through your sales process. It's never just like, okay, stage one, call with the customer, stage two, negotiation stage. It's all these little bits in between that's manual. So I might have to say, I have to go to Dan and download our product list from from something to then talk to the customer, or there's all these little steps. And I think Make, for us, how we're going to pitch this is kind of like just helping us fill the gaps and making this a full process, full flow that we can use. And especially on the ERP side of things, one of the biggest things, like it really is one of the biggest issues that our customers have, or any customers using CRM has, is the what happens next when you get a deal done. So like everyone sells
Yeah,
CRM, whether it's HubSpot, Salesforce, Zoho, whatever. It's like it's in a box. But say if you actually make a deal, get something signed, um, then the real magic starts with the business, where there's actual fulfillment and stuff like that. That's where the ERP comes in. So
exactly.
is there any kind of ERP systems that come up a lot for your customers that they're using Make for, just to give us some?
Well, really, Make has at the moment over 3,000 apps natively on the system. So we're very system agnostic, and it's a sandbox that allows each individual person and each individual company to build in the way that suits them using their systems. What comes up a lot generally with ERPs might be like NetSuite, because NetSuite is more of a legacy system. It's more difficult to integrate into. So Make really just helps with that. A lot of platforms, even like HubSpot, they have native integrations, but Make then kind of expands the use case and expands the realm of possibilities for even HubSpot and those integrations.
100%.
That's a good one as well, because I think HubSpot's a very extensive ecosystem of apps, but there always tends to be something in terms of a data flow is just not the way it should be, or it should be bidirectional. It's only one way, and
Yeah.
in most cases it's fine. But in the edge cases, it does provide a sticking point for our customers that they just need that bit of extra step. And I think going one step further to a platform like Make and not going all the way to like an AWS, for example, to build a whole full-fledged custom integration
Exactly.
is such a natural next step in that case.
Yeah. Because Dan,
Exactly.
how many times have we went in and it's like throwing a hammer at a, when we just need like one little extra step with, say, if it's a NetSuite integration or something like that. So like 99% of the cases are taken care of between HubSpot and NetSuite through the connector. And then, the only other option we have is to go ham on a proper custom integration. So this might be suitable for a lot of those customers, I think, over the years that we've been working.
I think it definitely gives us an extra like string to our bow in terms of the capabilities we have, because that whole saying like everything to a hammer, everything looks like a nail, and I think that's what the kind of we looked like with it. It's the answer was AWS all the time. Whereas
Yeah.
now getting more upskilled on the likes of a Make just gives us that extra kind of guile. I know you like that word, Luke, too.
Guile, yeah, because it also gives us, what it gives? It gives options for our customers. I hate going in and saying this is how it's going to be, because
Mhm.
I don't like when salespeople do that to me and say, I feel like I'm boxed in. I want to say, okay, if you want to go down the road of building your own kind of iPaaS system, we can do that. We've got the engineering. But if you want to use the HubSpot connector plus Make for these few things, that's an option. It might be a bit of a lighter approach. And what that does, in my opinion, it's going to open up all these other areas that we can help our customers with. That goes beyond that, because once they're set up with Make, it doesn't have to end with the NetSuite element. It could be something that's even outside of the CRM that they're trying to automate and stuff like that. So I'm super excited about broadening
Yeah.
our service offering. So that's all good stuff. Oisín, I know one of the things that really drew me to Make.com was the kind of the visibility. Like it's a nice looking product as well. And I know we've been hammering AWS, but it doesn't look great when you're trying to demo it. Would you mind just showing the people, giving a visual of what this looks like? We don't have to. It doesn't have to be a working model or anything, but just to give people a visual of what we're talking about here. That'd be
Yeah,
great.
yeah, of course. I can share my screen here. Let me see.
Even I heard it while you're pulling that up, Oisín. I heard it described in terms of where it fits in the ecosystem as well. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on it. But
Yeah.
there's a really good guy who's on the kind of cutting edge of AI called Dan Martell. He produces a lot of content podcasts as a book called Buy Back Your Time. And he talks of Make as kind of being the intermediary between a Zapier and an AWS. So more advanced than a Zapier, but a lot more accessible than an AWS.
Yeah.
Is that kind of how you see it too?
Exactly. Yeah, for me, we sit in a sweet spot of being able to deal with complex workflows, and being more technical. This is what we hear from our customers that have moved from Zapier to Make. But then also, yeah, of course, being still visual, as you can see here.
It looks
And
great. God damn, this looks great.
well, I'm
If you're,
glad to hear you say that. Yeah,
yeah,
I'll pass on the
yeah,
message to our design
yeah,
team. But yeah, look, it's where Make comes in as well as for companies looking to do what we call citizen development. So I'm not from a technical background, and a lot of Make users aren't from a technical background. But because it is quite visual like this, even non-technical people can use Make. So we sit in a sweet spot of being accessible, but still being powerful and being able to deal with complex automations as well. So this is one that I kind of just threw together just before the call here. It's a skeleton sort of. I don't have connections to HubSpot. We don't use it internally, but it's sort of for you guys to get an understanding of maybe one particular use case that could be possible. But really, this is around lead management and lead routing. But essentially, what's happening is you're running a Facebook lead or ad campaign. When there is a new lead, you're then searching for contacts, or if that lead exists within HubSpot.
yeah.
You then have a router to say if it exists already, then it's sent up here into this file, and this is probably maybe your customer success team or your expand team up here.
Yeah.
But then if it doesn't exist, then you want to send it down here into your sales team, your account executives. But essentially what's happening is that you are sending that contact into, or searching for that contact in Zoom info.
Yeah.
To be able to enrich the contact information, find their phone number, find their email address. If they haven't already put it in Facebook itself, you then create, or sorry, actually in this case, it's updating the contacts in HubSpot, and then you're routing it to the relevant rep. So if you've got another router, if it's the US, then send it to that team. If it's EMEA North, EMEA South, and then, again, essentially the same thing, but for a new contact instead.
This is so cool. So for those people who are just listening to this, what we're seeing is a Facebook ad goes into the HubSpot. There's a router node, and then if it's known, the contact's known, it's going into Zoom info to be enriched. Which people are loving enrichment lately. It's kind of like everyone's just like, they don't want an empty CRM anymore. They want the information there. So this is going down two different paths. One looks to see if it's new. If it's new, it gets routed to a notification to a Slack message to the right person. This is like next level. Instead of just having, like, when I started using CRM like 20 years ago almost, it was just always just lists. We were going mad with lists and who owns what lead and stuff. Like, this is kind of next level. Like, everyone knows, the quicker you can get to leads, the quicker you can get information on leads. People expect that now. When I pick up the phone to a salesperson, I want them to. I hung up on a salesperson the other day. I'm actually going to say sorry to him, but I was really busy. I got to go back to him.
You're one of those, right?
Yeah. Everything was on fire, and he wanted to have a deep conversation about my goals at that time, and I was like, okay, but I was interested in what he was saying, so I'm going to get back to him. But my point there was, he was asking me stuff that I know he should have known given my interaction with their product.
Right. Yeah.
So he's starting again. It's that enrichment thing so important. So that's really cool. So thanks very much for showing us that. I think that's going to be the real party piece when we put this up on LinkedIn later on.
I think so. Then, even internally, I think you could start using it yourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
So clean from an interface perspective as well. Like, even I know it's a kind of silly thing, or it's a small thing, but I even like how just the logos are there. Like the HubSpot logos there, the Slack logos there, Zoom info is there. It's super, super clean. And even like, it's kind of, as you said at the start, Oisín, it's like, it's so easy to use or user friendly when it comes to setting up these flows that nearly it takes more time to plan the flow and like get an idea of what you want. And then once you have the idea and validate it, it's just about plugging in the little modules where they may be.
Exactly. And that's the right way to work with Make. First of all, you want to brainstorm into, okay, if I was a human, or the people who are actually doing this task manually, how exactly did you do it? You want to track everything. And then, like, I was able to throw this together in 30 minutes. Now, it is skeleton. It's I'm not connected, I'm not integrated, but I mean, even if you were doing that, it might be an hour or so. But comparing that, and even comparing it to the AWS and having to more traditionally do these integrations, it might have taken a week or so, you know?
How I would think about it, have an orbit thing. I mean, I'm trying to say, these are all the things I do, and I think, what can I kind of outsource almost this, to build a flow for when it's happening to do this, Google Drive to go see if there's something in there that can help us. So I think, and what I want to do, I'll do issue or 600 customers. So when we go send a thing in and say, hey, we just want to jump on it and talk about how we make it your HubSpot setup, because I want to, people will tell us what they need. I think that we don't know what the exact use case is.
Yeah, and because it's so directly related to, like, silos of business process issues, you're not talking about a technical solution at all when you're talking about these problems. You're literally just talking about frustrations in their daily processes.
Yeah.
Even like help us narrow that down a bit. Oisín, who's the ideal? Who should we typically go after from a persona perspective, or who gets the best out of Make?
Yeah, no, look, I'm glad you touched on it because the silos is a very important aspect of it. Make a good way for yourselves and your customers to think about Make is that it's the plumbing between your tech stack. So it reduces data silos, it improves data consolidation. So everything that you need in HubSpot or in any of your other platforms, all the information, all the data is going to be there. Now, in terms of who are the ICPs, it's a good question because we're so like system agnostic and 3,000 apps. Basically, anybody can use Make in a way that suits them. Rather than them doing manual tasks, they're able to do it through Make. But where we see the most value a lot of times is in operations teams, whether that be like any sort of operations team, RevOps or
say
business
onboarding
ops.
is probably a big thing here as well. You could do stuff like that.
Onboarding is a huge one as well. So yeah, you think of all of the times when there's a new employee or customer onboarding, sorry, but even employee onboarding. If somebody signs up or signs the contract, a HR person then has to go and create an account on every single system that this person needs, or they themselves has to do it. With Make, what we even do internally is you have a type form or a DocuSign is connected to a type form, and then you put in your details. Once you've done that, then it automatically creates the accounts on every system.
So good.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So I think Dan, why don't me and Dan are going to take this way, and then hopefully come back with lots of joint opportunities that we can work on to help our customers. But I do want to thank Oisín for joining us here. I know as basically out of the goodness of his heart coming on and telling us all about this stuff. So thanks very much, Oisín. And I know you're out there in Madrid having a great time. It's terrible weather here today in Ireland, so I'm sure you're happy about that. But thanks very much, and
My pleasure.
we'll be putting this out. So thanks very much for coming along, and chat soon.
Thanks for having me.